Hey, beautiful people, it's Donna again. Welcome back to my channel. I'm about to leave out again, and as usual, I want you to listen this very interesting podcast with me.
There is a generation of women today who have been made to believe that their worth is defined by whether someone is calling them every morning, texting them every night, or posting them on social media. Society has whispered a lie into the heart of the woman that if she is not in a relationship, she is somehow incomplete, broken, or left behind. But let me tell you something that will shake your soul. A woman without a boyfriend is not a woman without love. She is a woman being trained by God to understand love at its purest form, without contamination, without compromise, without dependency on human validation. When a woman walks alone, the world pities her. But heaven often applauds her, because God never anoints people in crowds. He anoints them in isolation. Before God gives a woman a king, he will teach her to live as a queen. Before he gives her a partner, he will show her how to partner with purpose. Many of you are crying over an empty phone, but heaven is waiting for you to pick up your assignment. You are not lonely, you are being prepared. You are not being ignored, you are being hidden for a divine unveiling. Look at every great woman in scripture. None of them were defined by a boyfriend. Esther was not chosen because she was dating someone. She was chosen because she was disciplined, pure, and positioned. Ruth was not chasing Boaz. She was working in purpose when purpose noticed her. Mary was not chosen to birth the Savior because she was in love with a man. She was chosen because she was in love with God. God will never use a distracted heart to carry a divine seed. The enemy understands something about single women that many women themselves do not. The enemy knows that a woman who learns to be fulfilled without a boyfriend becomes unstoppable. She becomes dangerous to hell because she is no longer emotionally manipulated. When you do not need validation from a man to feel valuable, the devil loses one of his most powerful weapons against you. You see, the absence of a boyfriend is not the absence of love. It is the presence of a season where God becomes your closest companion. This is the season where he teaches you identity, not through romance, but through revelation. It's the season where he removes the noise of sweet words to let you hear his word. It's the time when he detoxes your emotions from counterfeit affections so that you can recognize the real thing when it arrives. Too many women are rushing into relationships because they fear being alone. But what if that loneliness is the voice of heaven calling you to intimacy with your Creator? What if your singleness is not a punishment but a promotion? What if God is saying, daughter, I want to show you who you are before I show you who you are with? When a woman is single, she has one of the most powerful gifts. God can give the ability to focus entirely on him. The world says, find someone who completes you, but heaven says, be complete in me first. If you are waiting for someone to complete you, you are already broken. Wholeness is not found in dating, it is found in dwelling in his presence, dwelling in his word, dwelling in his will. A woman without a boyfriend has time to build herself. She has time to develop her character, to grow her faith, to mature emotionally, to understand her calling. This is the season where you plant seeds that your future family will harvest. This is the time to learn patience, strength, and leadership. Every woman who learns to be whole alone becomes a powerful wife when the time comes, because she does not depend on her husband for strength. She brings strength into the marriage. Do not let Instagram deceive you. Not every smiling couple is happy. Some are in relationships because they cannot bear silence. Some are posting pictures because they need validation. But the woman who can smile without an audience, who can worship without applause, who can walk with purpose, without partnership, that woman has found her true identity. When God isolates you, he is incubating something. Isolation is not rejection, it is preparation. The caterpillar must go into the cocoon alone to become the butterfly. No boyfriend, no friends, just transformation. If the caterpillar breaks the cocoon too early, it dies. If you leave your season of singleness too early, you might suffocate your destiny. This is not the time to chase affection. It is the time to chase assignment. Don't waste your season trying to prove that you're desirable. Prove that you're dependable. God is not looking for a desperate woman. He's looking for a disciplined one. A woman who can handle purpose before pleasure. A woman who can carry anointing before attention. A woman who can endure seasons of silence without selling her soul for temporary validation. The problem with many relationships today is that people are trying to build together when they have not yet been built individually. You cannot pour love out of an empty vessel. You cannot submit to a man when you have not learned to submit to God. You cannot lead your home when you have not learned to be led by the Spirit. This is why the single season is sacred. It is where God builds the foundation of your identity. When you are single, your heart is in construction. God is laying bricks of wisdom, patience, self-control, and faith. If you rush out of that process, you end up attracting people who match your incompleteness instead of your calling. A woman who knows her worth will not settle for attention. She will wait for intention. Let's be real. Loneliness hurts, but loneliness can also heal. It can heal you from addiction to approval. It can heal you from the disease of comparison. It can heal you from chasing people who don't chase you. In that loneliness, you start hearing God whisper, "You are enough." In that silence, you learn that peace is better than passion. In that solitude, you find out that purpose fills you in ways romance never could. When you become comfortable with your own company, you become selective with your energy. You stop entertaining every text message. You stop giving access to people who drain you. You begin to protect your peace like a crown because you finally realize you are royalty. You stop dressing for attention and start dressing with intention. You stop begging for love and start walking in confidence because you know who your Father is. The truth is, a woman who is single and walking in purpose will always attract what she is ready for. The right man is not found. He is revealed when you are prepared. God does not send Adam until Eve is fully formed. And if God has not revealed him yet, it means he's still forming you or forming him. Either way, wait in faith. If you can't be content without a boyfriend, you won't be content with one. Because contentment is an inner posture, not a relationship status. God is not withholding love from you. He's withholding distraction. He's saying, "I love you too much to let you waste this season on something beneath your destiny." Every delay has a divine purpose. Every rejection is redirection. Every unanswered prayer is protection. When a woman truly understands that, she stops seeing singleness as a curse and starts seeing it as a classroom. A classroom where God is teaching her lessons that will sustain her in every future season. He's teaching her how to pray without panic, how to love without losing herself, how to walk in authority without arrogance, how to be feminine without being fragile. So if you are a woman without a boyfriend right now, lift your head. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are not behind. You are being built. You are not single. You are sanctified for a specific purpose. Don't rush out of the process. Don't despise the waiting. Don't let culture convince you that you are less. You are in a divine development program. You are in heaven's training ground. And when the time comes, you will not attract someone because you are lonely. You will attract someone because you are ready. You will not be desperate to be chosen. You will already know you were chosen by God. You will not settle for attention that fades. You will walk in purpose that lasts. Because the woman who learns to be whole without a boyfriend becomes a weapon in God's hand, strong, focused, and filled with wisdom. You are not waiting for love. Love is already in you. You are not incomplete. You are in construction. And when God finishes building you, no man will complete you. He will only complement you. Because you were already whole long before he arrived. There comes a moment in every woman's life where silence becomes louder than conversations, and solitude becomes more sacred than company. It is in that moment she realizes her worth is not measured by attention, but by alignment. The world will tell her, find love before you're too old, too late, too forgotten. But heaven whispers, before you find love, find yourself in me. Because if you don't know who you are, you will keep allowing others to define you. A woman without a boyfriend is not unloved. She is being loved differently. God is loving her through transformation, not transaction. When you are single, God's love begins to expose everything you once believed was love but wasn't. He exposes the wounds that made you settle for less. He heals the memories that made you crave validation. He rewires the heart that was taught that being chosen by someone makes you special. No, being chosen by God made you special before you were ever born. The problem is, many women confuse being wanted with being valued. Just because someone desires you doesn't mean they deserve you. A woman without a boyfriend has the divine opportunity to discern the difference between attention and affection, between chemistry and connection, between emotions and purpose. This is not a punishment, it's protection. God is not withholding love, He's protecting you from counterfeits that would have broken your destiny. Every season of separation has a purpose. When you are alone, heaven is teaching you something that cannot be learned in noise. The absence of a boyfriend is not the absence of love, it's the presence of spiritual surgery. God is cutting away insecurities that relationships might have hidden. He's removing attachments that were built on fantasy. He's purifying your perception of love. You see, when you have a boyfriend too soon, you often build on brokenness. You pour your unhealed heart into someone who cannot fix it. You start expecting a man to give you peace only God can provide, and lose themselves by confusing affection for healing. But when God isolates you, He begins to teach you the rhythm of your own heart. He teaches you what peace feels like, what joy looks like, what wholeness sounds like. He teaches you that love is not supposed to drain you, it's supposed to develop you. In this world, women are trained to chase partnership more than purpose. You are told your value increases when someone loves you. But that is not divine truth, that is human deception. A woman's worth is not upgraded by romance. It's revealed by relationship with her Creator. Before Adam came, Eve already had dominion. Before Boaz arrived, Ruth already had diligence. Before Joseph took Mary, she already had favor. The woman God forms in private does not need public approval to know she is valuable. When God hides you, it's because He's shaping you. When He says not yet, it's because He's teaching you to see your reflection through His word, not through someone's opinion. Many women say, I'm tired of waiting, but what they don't realize is that waiting seasons are working seasons. God is working in your silence, developing character, building spiritual muscle, teaching emotional balance. He is stripping away everything that distracts from your destiny. A woman without a boyfriend is in a powerful position. She has full access to God without divided attention. She has time to build her vision, strengthen her faith, sharpen her mind, and define her boundaries. She has time to know what she will never tolerate again. This is the season to learn how to be whole without being needed, to be powerful without being proud, to be loving without being desperate. God is saying, I want you to see yourself as I see you. The danger of attaching too soon is that you start seeing yourself through the lens of someone else's opinion. You begin to think your beauty, value, and success are measured by how much someone desires you. But when God becomes your focus, you start to realize that your value has never been up for debate. You were valuable before anyone noticed you. You were valuable before your first heartbreak. You were valuable even when you doubted yourself. A woman without a boyfriend has the sacred opportunity to rediscover her identity. This is the time to heal the parts of you that keep attracting pain. Because if you don't heal your heart, you'll keep calling dysfunction love. God will not send your promise until you stop idolizing your past. He cannot release a man who honors you until you stop tolerating men who use you. He cannot bless what you keep idolizing. When you are alone, God begins to redefine what you desire. You stop craving attention. You start craving peace. You stop needing constant affirmation. You start walking in quiet confidence. You stop wanting someone to notice you. You start wanting someone who understands purpose. That's when you know you've matured, when you no longer chase what's temporary. Do you know why God sometimes delays relationships? Because He knows that your heart is too precious to be entrusted to the wrong hands. Some of you are praying for a boyfriend, and God is saying, if I gave you what you're asking for now, it would destroy the woman I'm building. So he waits. He hides you. He makes you invisible to wrong eyes until the right man with the right spirit at the right time can recognize what you truly carry. This is not about being single. It's about being sanctified. God is purifying your standard. He is teaching you to see love as a covenant, not convenience. The world teaches you that being desired is power. Heaven teaches you that being disciplined is power, because beauty may attract a man, but character keeps him. Emotions may create connection, but purpose sustains it. A woman without a boyfriend has the advantage of time. Time to grow, time to heal, time to understand herself. While others are distracted by temporary attachments, she is preparing for divine alignment. She learns how to cook peace into her prayers, how to dress in dignity, how to walk in wisdom. She learns that silence is not emptiness, it's maturity. She learns to differentiate between being single and being available. She may be single, but she's not available for nonsense. And when the time comes when God says now, she will not enter a relationship out of need, but out of purpose. She will not beg to be loved. She will bring love into the relationship because she's already been loved by the greatest lover of all. She will not compete for attention. She will attract partnership through purpose. She will not lower her standards to be chosen. She will raise her standards to choose correctly. The enemy fears women like that. Women who are not desperate. Women who do not crave validation. Women who walk with spiritual confidence. Because such women cannot be manipulated by flattery, controlled by emotions, or deceived by empty promises. They are dangerous not because they are single, but because they are whole. Every moment without a boyfriend is an opportunity to deepen your intimacy with God. Every quiet night is an invitation to hear his heartbeat. Every unanswered text is a reminder that he is enough. You are not unloved. You are loved so much that heaven refuses to let you settle for a counterfeit. You are not unwanted. You are hidden for someone who can see your worth without you performing for it. So stop saying, I'm waiting for a man. You're not waiting for a man, you're walking with God. And when the right man comes, he will not interrupt your walk. He will join your journey. He will not distract you from your calling. He will help you fulfill it. Until then, lift your head high. You are not behind. You are not less. You are in process. And in that process, God is teaching you how to be the woman who no longer chases love, but attracts it by being loved. Because a woman without a boyfriend is not waiting to be chosen. She is realizing she already was. In a culture that celebrates relationships more than responsibility, a woman without a boyfriend often feels invisible. Every movie, song, and social post seems to echo the same message that happiness begins when someone chooses you. But the truth is, joy begins when you choose obedience. A woman who walks alone with God is not lonely. She is being refined, prepared, and positioned for destiny. She is learning that her life is not defined by who holds her hand, but by who guides her steps. There is power in solitude. In solitude, you learn to listen. You learn to discern your own voice from God's. You begin to hear heaven's whispers without interference. You start to understand that silence is not punishment, it's preparation. The world calls it being single, but heaven calls it being set apart. When a woman walks through her season without a boyfriend, she is walking through divine training ground where God builds her character, strengthens her discipline, and establishes her identity. Many women spend their single season searching for love instead of discovering their assignment. But let me tell you, the purpose you ignore while waiting for a relationship will become the very thing that sustains or destroys that relationship later. Before Eve was ever introduced to Adam, she already had an assignment to manage the garden. God never made her for companionship alone. He made her for contribution. So when you are without a boyfriend, you are not empty. You are being equipped. God is not depriving you. He is developing you. There are things God cannot reveal to you while you are distracted by romance. When your heart is too full of emotion, it leaves no space for revelation. But when you are alone, you begin to receive downloads from heaven that shape your future. You begin to hear your calling clearly. You begin to see where you've been compromising your value for temporary comfort. This is the sacred moment where God reintroduces you to the woman you forgot you were. The truth is, relationships can be blessings or burdens, depending on who you are when you enter them. If you have no vision for your life, you will end up following someone else's. If you do not know your boundaries, you will allow anyone to cross them. If you do not know your worth, you will sell yourself cheaply in the market of approval. That's why your single season is divine. It's where God shapes your mind, heals your wounds, and upgrades your standards. A woman who knows her purpose doesn't chase relationships. She attracts alignment. She doesn't seek attention. She seeks assignment. She's not desperate for connection. She's desperate for direction. Because she understands that destiny partners are not found by flirting. They are found by fulfilling purpose. Ruth met Boaz while she was working, not waiting. Purpose attracts provision. Focus brings favor. When you are busy doing what God called you to do, you will not have to beg for recognition. The right people will find you at the right time. A woman without a boyfriend is in one of the most powerful positions on earth. The position to build without distraction. She can build her faith, her mindset, her business, her ministry, her financial strength, her emotional stability. This is her construction season. And make no mistake, when construction is complete, the glory will speak for itself. Every woman who uses her single season wisely will one day thank God she didn't waste it chasing temporary affection. You must understand that purpose protects you. When you know what you carry, you stop entertaining people who don't respect it. When you understand your calling, you stop negotiating your standards. When you're clear about your direction, you stop walking in circles with people who don't know where they're going. God isolates you to clarify your identity. Because when you finally meet someone, He wants you to come as a full woman, not a fragment, hoping to be fixed. A woman without a boyfriend must learn this truth. Relationships do not give you identity, they reveal it. If you are confused alone, you'll be more confused together. If you're broken now, you'll bleed on the one God sends to bless you. So, God gives you time to heal, time to learn, time to grow. Don't despise that time. It's divine mercy. Heaven gives you seasons to discover yourself before you discover someone else. Too many women use relationships as mirrors. They only see themselves when someone else sees them. But when you allow God to be your mirror, you begin to see your worth through His eyes. You stop trying to fit into molds that don't match your mission. You stop lowering your value just to be chosen. Because a woman who walks with God understands she is already chosen, already loved, already complete. When you are without a boyfriend, you are not unloved. You are unbothered by distractions. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. You are not overlooked. You are being observed by heaven. God is working in silence. He's using this time to sharpen your discernment. He's showing you what peace feels like, so you'll never settle for confusion again. He's training you to recognize the difference between chemistry and covenant. And when you master that, when you stop idolizing the idea of being in love, you become free. Free to grow, free to think, free to lead, free to dream. You start focusing on your goals, your calling, your inner healing. You begin to love your own company because you finally met the woman God created you to be. You discover that peace is 1,000 times more satisfying than being posted on social media. You discover that destiny is more fulfilling than desire. When a woman masters her purpose, she begins to glow differently. Her confidence becomes radiant. Her presence commands respect. She becomes a walking standard, not because she's loud, but because she's aligned. She stops chasing love and starts living love. She stops needing someone to tell her she's beautiful. She knows she is. She stops waiting for flowers. She grows her own. It is in this state that God trusts her with more wisdom, more influence, more opportunity, because He knows she won't lose herself when love finally arrives. A woman who masters her purpose before marriage brings stability, not dependency. She doesn't enter a relationship empty, she enters overflowing. She doesn't demand completion, she brings contribution. She doesn't need constant reassurance because her confidence is rooted in divine affirmation. Purpose makes you magnetic. It draws the right man, not a man who is impressed by your beauty, but one who is inspired by your vision. A man who doesn't just see your body, but your anointing. A man who understands that partnership is about mission, not just emotion. That kind of connection is rare, and it can only be recognized by a woman who has first learned to walk in her divine assignment. You see, purpose will always reveal pretenders. When you are aligned with your calling, counterfeit relationships fall away naturally. People who were attracted to your potential but intimidated by your power will leave. That's how God protects you. Every time someone exits your life, He's making space for someone who belongs. Don't mourn departures, celebrate them. Because purpose has a way of purging your life of what doesn't serve your destiny. A woman without a boyfriend must remember, you are not behind schedule. You are on divine timing. God is not late, He's strategic. Every delay is divine design. Every no is protection. Every lonely night is preparation. He is making sure that when He finally brings someone into your life, they meet a woman who knows where she's going. Because two blind hearts cannot build a vision. In this time, invest in yourself. Read, pray, travel, serve, grow. Build your confidence on conviction, not compliments. Dress like the queen you are becoming. Speak life into your future. Don't waste energy, proving your worth demonstrated through excellence. The world may call you single, but heaven calls you focused. The world may say you're waiting, but heaven says you're working. Remember, you are not just waiting for someone to love you, you are learning to love your assignment. Because when you finally meet someone who is meant for you, they won't distract you from your purpose. They will amplify it. You won't lose your identity, you'll expand it. You won't shrink, you'll shine together. A woman without a boyfriend is not missing out on love. She's making room for the right kind. She's mastering her divine purpose, building her foundation, and preparing her future. And when that future unfolds, she'll look back and realize the silence wasn't empty. It was sacred. The loneliness wasn't punishment, it was promotion. She'll thank God she didn't rush the process. Because she will have learned that the only thing better than being loved by someone is being known by God and walking in His purpose. We live in a generation that fears singleness more than sin. Women are told, you're too beautiful to be single, as if being in a relationship validates your existence. But let me speak truth into your spirit. A woman without a boyfriend is not incomplete. She is in construction. God is not ignoring her. He is investing in her. And when heaven invests, the return shakes nations. When a woman walks without a man by her side, society begins to whisper, something must be wrong with her. But what if nothing is wrong? What if everything is right? What if her isolation is not rejection, but preservation? God often hides His rarest treasures in silence. Diamonds are not found in public places. They are buried deep, far from sight. When a woman has no boyfriend, heaven may be saying, I'm polishing my diamond. Don't touch her yet. Let me tell you this, the greatest danger for a woman is not being single, it's being connected to the wrong person. The wrong man will drain your dreams, dilute your faith, and destroy your peace. But the right season of singleness will rebuild your strength, sharpen your discernment, and restore your crown. Some of you are praying for love, but God is answering with separation because He knows you would rather cry over loneliness than bleed from betrayal. He's not being cruel. He's being kind. He's saving you from what you can't see. A woman without a boyfriend is dangerous to hell because she cannot be manipulated by emotions. Her joy doesn't depend on texts. Her peace doesn't depend on promises. Her confidence doesn't depend on compliments. She has learned to feed herself with the word, not words. She no longer waits for someone to buy her flowers. She's too busy planting gardens. She no longer chases love. She is love, walking in motion. When you reach that level of maturity, you become unshakable. You stop needing people to validate you because your value was established before you were even born. You begin to glow differently, not because someone sees you, but because you finally see yourself. You start walking in rooms differently, not searching for attention, but radiating purpose. You carry yourself like a queen, not because of a crown on your head, but because of the calling in your soul. Listen, the absence of a boyfriend doesn't mean the absence of destiny. Some of the most powerful women in history changed the world without needing anyone's last name attached to theirs. They carried vision, not vanity. They built legacy, not loneliness. A woman who knows who she is can lead nations, raise generations, and shift atmospheres, all while walking alone with God. But here's the shocking truth. If you don't master your singleness, you will mismanage your relationship. The version of you that refuses to heal in solitude will sabotage what God sends in partnership. That's why God doesn't rush the process. He breaks your attachment to people who couldn't handle your potential. He allows disappointments to teach you discernment. He lets you cry now so you won't collapse later. He is preparing you for something holy, not just someone handsome. Many women today are addicted to attention. They crave to be seen more than they crave to be secure. But let me warn you, attention fades, but identity remains. The likes, the messages, the flattery, they all vanish. But the woman who builds her life on divine identity can stand when storms come. She doesn't fall apart when she's ignored because she was never built by public validation. She was built by private revelation. You must stop apologizing for being single. Stop lowering your standards just to have company. Stop confusing being wanted with being worthy. You are not hard to love. You are just not designed for the ordinary. Some women are not single because they're unwanted. They're single because they're uncommon. They are too deep for shallow hearts, too wise for foolish minds, too anointed for temporary men. Heaven hides such women until the right man is mature enough to handle what they carry. Let that sink in. You are hidden, not rejected. God hides his best in silence. He hides prophets in wildernesses, kings in caves, and queens in preparation. So if you feel unseen right now, thank God. It means he's protecting your oil from contamination. He's not delaying your story. It's an assignment from heaven to discover who you are without filters and expectations. You were not created just to be someone's girlfriend. You were created to be someone's destiny helper. You are designed to multiply vision, not just share affection. You are not waiting for love. You are becoming love's reflection. And when you become that, when you become a woman rooted in peace, filled with purpose, and secure in your identity, the right man will not complete you. He will complement you. He will not define you. He will align with you. He will not be intimidated by your strength. He will celebrate it because he will recognize that you were never waiting for him. You were walking toward destiny, and he just happened to meet you there. You see, a woman without a boyfriend is not waiting for her time. She is time. She carries seasons in her spirit. She shifts atmospheres with her words. She births nations through her obedience. The devil fears such women because they do not bow to loneliness. They turn it into power. They don't need validation. They walk in revelation. So, to every woman walking alone right now, walk boldly. Walk with your crown straight. Walk like the masterpiece heaven designed. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are becoming fire. The world won't understand it, but soon they'll see it. Because when God finishes with you, the very people who called you single will call you chosen. The ones who pitied your isolation will witness your elevation. The same mouths that asked, "Why doesn't she have a man?" will say, "How did she become this powerful?" And your answer will silence them because you'll simply say, "While they were dating, I was developing. While they were distracted, I was being designed. While they were falling in love, I was falling in purpose. And now, I've become the woman no man can complete, only complement. That's not loneliness. That's divine evolution. That's not waiting. That's transformation. That's not emptiness. That's becoming a force the world has never seen before. You are not without a boyfriend. You are without limitation. You are not single. You are sacred. You are not waiting. You are awakening. And when you finally rise, hell itself will remember your name.